remind you, daggone pop-ups. So, but let me just remind you the idea behind scripts, dialogues, and debates. In my mind, this is an opportunity for us to come together and share with one another, to talk through situations or problems. What do you say in this situation? What do you say in that situation? How can I overcome this? And so to me, this is an opportunity for us to kind of feed off of one another and learn from one another. But that being said, I do have an interesting script that I'll share with you today and see what you think about it. I thought when I first saw this script called the charity script, I thought, man, that's a really good idea. Everybody could use it to connect with their sphere of influence, even those people that we haven't spoken to in some time. It could be an opportunity for us to renew that relationship because of the way that it's laid out. And again, it's called the charity script. And so I'll share my screen so that you can see it written down. But I wouldn't mind maybe role playing it with somebody so that we can get a feel for what it might sound like in real life. So, good?
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let me find my share screeny thing here. Is it up here? I think it's up there. Uh-oh. Please be patient. My screen went dark.
Bruce Station when you need her.
That's why you do it early, to make sure it works.
It was working.
It was. I actually have it pulled up. It's a tab.
Mhm.
Not working.
Do I need to go to it?
Technology can't.
Anybody got that Jeopardy music?
Is that what you're looking for?
Oh,
There.
oh, oh, oh,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Something.
Big screen. It started sharing the screen. I'm not sure what we're seeing though.
Dun, 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 dun,
See
dun.
if I can get it going here. All right, do you see this?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Excellent. Excellent. So the charity script. Ring, ring. Hey, Bob, this is Jason. How have you been? Great. Listen, do you mind if I ask you a couple of business related questions? No? Great. If you had an extra 75, 50, 100 bucks that you wanted to donate to charity, which charity would it be? Oh, St. Luke's. That's awesome. Why would you choose them? Perfect. And my second question, if you needed real estate services or advice right now, who would you call? So I think that's a great setup. Okay, great. And so for example, if they didn't say you, right, then you might say, okay, great. And if they weren't available to you for some reason, who would you call next? And if they don't say you at this point, then you got some more work to do. But let's just say, for example, they do say you, and you say, oh, cool, I really appreciate that. Thank you for saying me. That means a lot. So the reason I'm asking these questions is that in the state of Virginia, we're not actually allowed to pay someone for real estate referrals. But what I can do is make a donation to St. Luke's in your name as a way of saying thank you. Would that be acceptable? And of course, they're going to say, yeah, that would be really cool. Well, listen, I'm making a note here of your favorite charity, St. Luke's, and I'm going to keep it handy to donate to whenever the opportunity for you to send me a referral comes up. Does that sound good? Thanks for chatting with me. Right, so you guys get the gist of that?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool because while we're not specifically allowed to pay someone for referring business to you, this is legitimate. You can do this. And I think it's a perfect way for you to connect with your sphere of influence. People you have spoken to recently and people you haven't spoken to. You know, maybe you're gonna fill in some of those blanks with a little more small talk. You know, hey, how you guys doing? How's the COVID treating you? You know, did everybody make it through okay? You guys all healthy? You know, listen, the reason I was calling is I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. First, if you had an extra $100 and you wanted to donate it to charity, who would you donate it to? You know, and they're gonna say St. Jude's or whatever they say. And then you can say, well, why that one? Right? Because you're reinforcing that that's an important charity to them in that conversation. And then hopefully when you say, my second question is, if you needed real estate services or advice right now, who would you call? Hopefully they're going to say you, right? That's what I would expect. But if for some reason they say, well, they probably have to call my sister, you know, she got her license last year. Okay, cool. And if for some reason she wasn't available to you, who would you call next? At this point, they just have to say you. They have to. And so the reason I'm asking these questions is that the state of Virginia, it's actually illegal to pay someone directly for real estate referrals. But what I can do is make a donation to St. Jude's in your name as a way of saying thank you. Would that be acceptable? And of course, I can't imagine somebody saying no. And then of course, you just want to reinforce that you are making a note of St. Jude's being their favorite charity. You're going to keep it handy to donate to whenever the opportunity for a referral comes up. So pretty cool, I think. Anybody want to comment or share?
I have a question.
Yes,
It's illegal to pay for a referral?
technically it is.
I thought it was limited to a certain amount.
So no, that's for tax deductions.
Okay,
Yeah, so you can deduct like $25 gift cards and stuff, not more than like $25 that you're offering as like a closing gift or something. But for referrals, yeah, we're not allowed to pay for referrals.
Huh.
Yeah, unless it's another licensee, right?
okay.
Because they can collect then a referral fee because they're licensed.
So this is an end around that law.
Yeah, essentially, because you can donate to charity in anybody's name, right?
Now, if you donate it in somebody else's name, who gets the tax deduction?
That's a good question. Anybody got an answer?
They all look sleek. They
I
need
would
to come
assume
in
the person
office.
paying the money.
Yeah, I mean, if you donate to St. Jude's in Dudley's name, does Dudley get the tax deduction or do I get the tax deduction?
The person paying.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
person paying gets the deduction.
Okay,
And and then Dudley just gets the kudos.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
It's like you're doing it in honor of.
In honor of, yeah.
Like if you were to do a memorial, like if you were doing it in memory of somebody, they don't get the tax deduction, they're dead. You get it
Okay.
because you paid the money.
All right. Well, that's a win-win. It's good for me and it's good for, my referrer. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, I mean, it's the way I interpret this script as it's a reminder to our sphere of influence that we're open to receiving referrals. If someone talks real estate, please think of us. And so that's why I think it's really laid out pretty well for someone you haven't spoken to in some time. Yep.
And if you Google search that question, you just ask Jason, it says you get the deduction.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it.
No worries. That's what I'm here for.
Google.
Google
So,
search.
Anybody struggling with any other, dialogues. I mean, I think we've probably all bumped into a not so polite agent here and there. I know I've seen my share of agents who are, very egocentric, and everything they say is correct, even when it's not. How do you handle people like that? Kill them with kindness, right?
Yeah, it's usually the best
Just
way.
be professional.
Maintain your professionalism. I think
Yeah.
that's a great answer.
But I'll remember how they treated me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have like there's some like property management folk that I've dealt with and have been rather harsh. And I was like, oh, okay, well, thank you. And I keep getting up.
And you put them on your crap list, right?
Yep.
I think we've all got a crap list. So
Yeah.
those people we don't ever want to have to work with again. I know I've got a few names on that list myself.
I had a situation when I was showing a house and to some clients, and they went in the house, they looked around, yada yada yada. They came back out, and the female significant other fell right outside of the house, and I said, oh my goodness, you all right? And she said, yes, I am. Then I get a call from the husband saying that they wanted us to pay for hospital bill. And I said, but she was on the outside of the house. That's the right response, right, Jason?
That's a great example. I mean, she was on the seller's property, I presume. And so I don't see how you could have any liability whatsoever. If anybody, and I don't even think that they would, but if anybody had liability, it would have to be the seller, not even the seller's agent. It would be the seller. So, yeah, I think what you said is, but you were outside the house, is acceptable.
Yeah.
What happened after that?
I put them on a do not disturb list because they were, very litigious. And it's like, I don't have time for that.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I had
Yeah, a lot of
something
people that
similar.
try to do that to get money, because insurance companies would throw like $2,000 at them for, just a nuisance.
Yeah, a nuisance fee. Yeah. Which unfortunately is all people are looking for sometimes. So free money.
Yes.
Free money.
Won't be surprised they did it on purpose.
Any examples in your world, Kelly?
Yeah, I had one in Pennsylvania years ago. I was showing a really good friend of mine. I was showing her house, and we had put a little, just handwritten sign, please do not go out to the deck, very slippery. We had an ice storm like a day before this couple was going out to look at the house. So they went out, they opened the door, husband and wife went out on the iced deck, and the wife fell. And I got a call from the buyer's agent, and she was like yelling at me, carrying on. So finally she got a little quiet, and I kindly said, okay, you're done venting? She goes, what do you mean venting? She goes, my client got hurt. And I said, well, your client should have read that little sign that's on the door going out to the deck saying, do not go out, slippery deck full of ice. She goes, well, I didn't see that. And I made sure I took a picture of it. So I had it in my phone. So I sent her over the picture of it being on the door. And I said, and I even had like a date that I had put it up. And she walked back in and called me back. She's, you're right, it is on the door and I didn't see it. She goes, I didn't go out on the deck with them. I said, so I don't think we have any cause here, correct? And then I called my broker and let him know. And then he called her and, excuse me, he just wanted to make sure that everything was good and we weren't going to be in a court case with this woman. So that was my only issue I ever had with,
Yeah.
someone falling.
I think it was really smart of you to take the proactive approach and take a picture of the sign that you had put on the door. That was really, really good thinking.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to think out of the box a little bit in situations like that, because at that time, I remember in the winter, we had a lot of stuff happening. Another one time we had an issue with a gentleman that bought a property and he had a septic system and he kept parking all his vehicles on top of the septic system. And he came back at us to try to sue us because the septic system went. And we went out and we had pictures. He still had all the vehicles on top of the area where the septic tank was. So we went out and we took pictures of that. And when it went to, it wasn't actually my listing. It was a friend of mine's. And they cleared us in court because they could tell that all these cars were parked on top of the septic tank. And that's actually what caused the tank to fail. So
Wow.
it's amazing
Wow.
what some people will do.
Yeah. Some people just see, oh, a company, let's find a reason to sue and see if we can't get some free money. Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's the way the world is. So,
Right.
but to just litigious something crazy, just call it crazy.
Yeah, very crazy.
Mhm. Cool. So what do you guys think of this script? Anything? Any feedback?
Is this a joke stone?
I
No,
think it's good.
no.
I think it's an
I like
easy
it.
way in to talk to people.
I
Um,
can't remember where I got this. I just got this like 2 days ago, and I thought, oh, that's so cool. I want to share it.
Say, I don't know what to say when I call them. 'Cause
Yeah,
nobody likes
well-
making the calls.
No, yeah, people, and I think, we get stuck sometimes in that we're nervous. We haven't talked to somebody in a long time. We don't know what to say. They're gonna think I'm just trying to sell them, and so, events and, crises like the pandemic give us easy, I think, reasons to call, because you can call anybody and say, hey, I was just thinking about you guys. Are you getting through this COVID thing? Okay. That's a really easy, I think, inlet to make that phone call. But sometimes, if we go into calling our prospect or calling our database or sphere of influence, if we go into it with the mindset of maybe they want to buy or sell, or maybe they'll give me a referral, then your mindset is all about you. And so that's when it's really, really hard to pick up that phone. But if you go into it with the mindset of, I wonder if there's anything I can do, I wonder if they're okay, is there some way that I might be able to be of value to them? So the mindset is help and service, then it's a little easier to make those calls.
I think it's nice too, because it feels like you're giving something back to them with that donation.
I agree. Because, this is something that they don't think about. They don't think about you.
Right.
They don't think about your business. I mean, people have their own lives, right? They have their own, drama. They have their own kids, their jobs, their world. That we all live in our own little bubble. And so this is just an opportunity for us to remind them that we're open to receiving referrals, and we would be more than happy to offer some gratuity or appreciation in exchange for a referral.
mhm. Okay.
What Prosperity Mortgage does. They will send the agent, a reminder that your client's birthday is coming up.
Hmm.
And you can give them a call, send them a card, or, they bought their house a year ago, hey,
Yeah.
so they remind you to reach out. But if you had that information in your database, it'll give you reasons to reach out to them so you can stay top of mind.
That's exactly right. And I get those emails all the time from Prosperity. Hey, our mutual client has a birthday coming up next week.
Yeah.
That's a really cool service that Prosperity offers. And, I'm sure there's many, many lenders out there that don't offer that type of service.
So use Prosperity.
They also do a checkup, 30 days after they close on a loan. Prosperity will send out an email to the client with your branding on it, you as the agent, and the Prosperity loan officer saying, hey, it's been a month, just want to check in, make sure you know where to send your monthly payments. If you have any issues or questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And so they do a lot to co-market to the client going forward for years, which is a really nice add-on, I think, that Prosperity gives us.
Okay.
Cool. Cool. So,
You're a quiet bunch.
well, it's a small bunch. Hopefully everybody's on that Moxie campaigns webinar. That would be really cool. So. How are those case sheets coming, Stacia?
I don't know. I just got one in my email from an agent who has been ratified for, a while.
Oh, is that mine?
Maybe. I wasn't going to call you out, but I just received a contract ratified, if I'm correct, on the 15th.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Linda, you gonna go into business? I mean, commercial?
It was frustrating. Very frustrating. My whole focus was, how did you get from A to B? And it was very convoluted. They really didn't address that. Did you hear that, Dudley?
They didn't give you much information at all.
And not only that, when I stood up and I said, I can't hear you on the other side of the room, it was like, they kind of forgot about us. I don't know. But what I did learn is you need to be detailed in making sure everything was in writing, number one. Also, what I felt was kind of condescending is when they were talking about how I never do residential. I don't ever do residential. And I was like, So maybe that's why you can't explain the contract when the agent has to go through, a standard purchase agreement versus a commercial agreement and all of that. Do you remember that, Dudley?
Yeah,
So
I thought it was
that
a
was,
waste of my 20 bucks.
well, I got some food.
Yeah.
It was organic too.
Organic food.
Yeah, but I did learn that I had one time I was doing desk duty, and I got a phone call from a guy, I think he was an investor, and he wanted me to send him information on investment properties. And now I think I have a little more, commercial investment, a broader mindset in how to approach someone like that. You really have to be very, I don't want to say dog eat dog, but you got to be very straightforward and to the point and have that crap unwritten. Because when the speaker, I forget her name, said that she lost $5,000 because a client she had, he was a buyer and he wanted to buy this, I don't know, humongous commercial, whatever. And another agent swooped in and snatched him, and so she lost her money. So my mindset, we're gonna get that sucking, we're gonna do something in writing.
Write it down.
Hmm.
Always write it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not written, it's not real.
Yeah, and I got the feeling they really weren't looking to help, but they were trying to market me for their program afterwards. Remember, all those classes they were talking about, Dudley?
Yeah, I am.
It's like,
That-
no.
That's usually what most of these things are for, to get you to buy into the bigger picture.
Mm-mm. No, and I don't think she was a very good teacher. And the lady that was sitting on the other side of the room that we could hardly hear, Dudley, she was into it. She asked a lot of good questions, because I got out of my seat. Remember, I was getting ready to leave. I went to the other side of the room and stood at the front door, and I was just watching, so they could see me. You know, like, she was really good. But I think if I go in that direction, I think it would be interesting. What do you think, Jason? Do we have anyone to deal with commercial?
We do, yes. There is a commercial agent office in Richmond. That's the closest one that I'm aware of. Although there has been conversation lately about bringing commercial to Hampton Roads.
There are agents down here who handle commercial properties.
Yeah, I mean,
I
we
mean,
all
yeah.
get one occasionally, but it's not something that we generally specialize in. But certainly, we can occasionally, provide service to a client who's interested in selling and or buying a commercial property. So that's not the issue. I think the issue is more around, do you want to be involved or specialize in commercial, be it, with leases and things like that? Because I think that's what a lot of commercial agents do is, like the guy who leased us this space, they're paid a percentage based on the annual rent of this space, which is huge if you think about it. And so, it's very common for commercial agents to represent owners and tenants, not so much, buyers and sellers.
Well, if I ever get in a situation like that, I'll be calling you.
All right, gang, I think we'll pop off now. It's about 11:30. I hope that you found something helpful in that script. Call your sphere and offer to donate to their favorite charity and just reconnect, right? That's the point. It's an opportunity to reconnect with those people that we can't think of a good reason to call them. That's what it's for. So,
Okay.
all right, y'all. Have a
Thanks,
fantastic
Jason.
day. Stay safe. I think it's going to snow tonight.
Yes.
So the time frame now is 1, 3 to 5, or 7 to 8. Those are the times that the snow is going to start.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure which one of those 3 time frames we're actually going to see snow, but that's
Okay.
what the weatherman says. And anybody who can keep a job, even though they get it wrong every day, must be right.
Hey,
And
Raymond.
there's my child in the background. For those
Are
who
you
can't
okay,
see his
Stacia?
entire head of hair. He's being
There you
weird.
go.
He's being weird.
Throwing the gang signs.
He's weird.
You look like you don't feel well.
What?
You look like you don't feel well.
I can't breathe through my nose.
Oh.
Uh,
I can't breathe through my nose. Other than that, I'm fine.
Yourself.
Breathe through my nose.
If she felt like she was at the top of her game and looked beautiful, and you said that to her, that would be really offensive.
No,
But she knows she
I wouldn't agree with it, so it's okay.
All right, guys, we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye. Have a good
Bye.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.